Welcome back, everybody. We're talking about the kiddos on today's show and traveling with the kids specifically. A lot of people taking spring break or maybe thinking about taking a winter getaway, especially with the winter we've been having. I think a lot of people are making last-minute reservations. And joining us to talk about traveling with the kids and some fun trips that would be really easy breezy to take the kids on is Rose from Fox World Travel.
Hi,
good morning.
Good morning. It's very, very cold out there, so spring break is on the top of everybody's mind, I'm sure.
I think a lot of people who weren't even thinking about taking a getaway all of a sudden are.
Exactly.
Are you getting lots of last-minute calls?
We are, and thankfully we have a fun jet sale going on until the 13th of February, so if they're thinking about doing something, there is still space available.
Woo-wee,
yeah.
Because let me tell you, this winter just keeps on going, and by the end of March, you're going to want to go somewhere. Book now.
Very true.
Things are booking up. Okay, traveling with kids. There are some things that you need to do to make it easier because it can sometimes be not so fun. I mean, it's not easy to travel even as an adult these days. Things have really changed when it comes to, being stuck in airports and you don't get food on the planes like you used to. So what are some tips to make it a positive experience?
Well, I think the first thing you have to do is prepare the children. Going through TSA is daunting for an adult. Can you imagine what it's like for a little toddler or a 5 or 6 year old?
It can be scary. You got to take off your shoes and all that kind of stuff.
Right.
Yep.
So what we do, we tell them, why don't you enact it at home, reenact it.
Good idea.
We can't do it at the airport. They can't get through TSA. But why don't you reenact it? Explain to them what's going to happen, but keep that positive energy. At the end of all this, we're going to get on a plane and then we're going to get to our destination.
Yeah, and explain what it's for and just wants to keep everybody safe. It's not a big deal, but that's a really good idea because if they don't know what it's all about, it could be kind of a freaky experience.
Absolutely, absolutely. And then being a mom, the number one thing is be prepared.
Yep.
Or dad.
Have to be. Yes.
Yeah. Dads are pretty prepared too, and they just have to carry a bag.
Yep. Lots of snacky poos that you need to, you have on hand and get to the airport early. Sometimes the kids, it takes a little extra time. Maybe you have to use a restroom and all that kind of stuff.
Yeah,
right?
you just don't want to be that mom that's standing in line with the dad in the stroller and everyone's yelling because somebody decided they had to use the restroom. Get there early. I know that's a challenge, but get there as early as you possibly can. 2+ hours for domestic flight, 3+ hours for international.
Yeah, and if you're traveling out of Chicago, keep in mind extra time for that. There's traffic there.
Yeah,
and you never know. I've had that dash through the airport with kids.
Yeah.
It is not fun.
No, and then that starts your trip off on a bad note.
Totally did.
Not
I almost
good.
missed the flight. I'll never forget it. It'll never happen to me again. Let's talk about what kids should bring or parents should bring for the kiddos when they're flying.
Well, the bag for the child should be very organized so that we're not digging through it and that kind of thing. Extra clothes, a lot of times I'll say if you can't bring an entire set of clothes, at least a shirt, because you know how often you open up some snack and it goes all over the place and then you have a clean shirt for them. Another really good tip that I learned with my grandson, who's now 4, is a straw. If you have to give them some kind of beverage and you don't have a sippy cup that you were able to bring through TSA, the straw is invaluable. They'll drink through a straw for you. This is not the time to give them sugary snacks, things they've never tried before. Healthy snacks, filling snacks, because you don't get anything on a plane.
No.
It's as simple as that.
Yes, and it brings snacks for yourself as well. Let's talk about some fun ideas as far as vacation goes that make it stress-free for the parents and the adults, for people who are sitting at home and really thinking, yeah, I really need to get a getaway this winter.
Well, my number one destination would be the Riviera Maya in Mexico. We're so lucky that out of Milwaukee we have nonstop charter service, so we have daily charter service in the wintertime.
Really? Wow.
When you're going nonstop with children, it eliminates 80% of your problems.
You're there in 3 or 4 hours. You don't have to worry about that flight being canceled, the layovers, that kind of stuff.
100%. And what else is very cool is so many of those resorts in the Riviera Maya are geared toward families. So we've got mini clubs for kids that are anywhere between 2 and say 6 years old. We've got teen clubs, and they don't just give them video games to play. They take them out. They'll do cultural experiences with the children. They'll teach them about the country that they're in, those kinds of things. And they'll do cooking classes, etc. So basically, it gives you a little break from the kids, but what is that trip about? Family bonding time.
Sure.
So at night, you all meet together at the restaurant and have a great old dinner together.
I love it. So Riviera Maya is one of the vacations that Rose mentioned, and if you're looking up some other places, call Fox World Travel. They will hook you up. That's what they're all about, is service, actually finding out what you need, what are the ages of your kids, what you're into as far as, what kind of activities you want to do.
That's are you just going to lay on the beach, or are you a really active family, that kind of a thing. And the number one tip I give everybody is chill out. You're supposed to be on vacation. Let's make this fun. Let's not have the experience at the airport, something that hangs over your head for the whole time you're gone.
Very true. Rose is going to stick around and talk about a trip that us adults may want to take, or maybe you could bring the older kids. Where are we going?
Italy.
Ooh, that sounds right up my alley. Coming up, we're headed to the kitchen to do some cooking with Girl Scout cookies. It's Girl Scout cookie time. We're going to show you how to turn one of the cookies that they're selling this year into a delicious shrimp dish. Yeah, seriously, cookies we're going to use to bread the shrimp. I'm excited about it. So stick around. We'll be back.